live in HD with Joshua Bolden, Jill Croce, and meteorologist Catherine Maxwell. You're watching WVVA Today.
The governor says work on the bridge to nowhere is progressing, and we hear from him this half hour.
Plus, a local restaurant in downtown Bluefield has reopened. We have all the details.
Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us on November 5th. I'm Jill Croce.
And I'm Joshua Bolden.
And meteorologist Catherine Maxwell. She joins us outside. And Catherine, how's it shaping up?
I mean, you know, we've been used to these cold mornings. We're having another cold morning for us today. Temperatures are fluctuating anywhere between the upper 20s, so Bluefield, Virginia right now waking up at 29 degrees, even into the 30s for the majority of us, and even the lower 40s, such as Richlands waking up at 41 for us right now. A few areas could deal with a little bit of patchy frost this morning, so do have the ice scraper ready before you are heading out the door for us. I am right now wearing my gloves. I think that's a good accessory for today, especially before heading the road. I also have 2 jackets on just to make sure I'm extra warm, keeping that good with us. Now, throughout the day today, basically temperature is going to be the same as what we experienced yesterday afternoon. We do have a potential for a few spotty showers to try to pick up as we head into the later afternoon this evening, but they're very stray in nature, so most of the area is going to continue to stay dry today. We will have a few clouds, though, try to increase as we head more into the afternoon and into this evening. Now, overnight, it does look like we'll be having another cool night, so you definitely want to keep this gear hanging around, especially for tomorrow morning once again. I'll break down your full forecast coming up in my full weather. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Catherine. We start off this half hour in Raleigh County. Law enforcement is looking for a runaway female named Alexis Wickline. Alexis left her residence on Hoyst Road at approximately 5 p.m. on November 3rd. You can see her on your screen. Alexis is a white female, 5'5", weighs about 110 pounds, has blue eyes and shoulder-length brown blonde hair. Alexis was last seen wearing a black hoodie and pink pants. If you've seen her or know where she is, please call 911 or the Raleigh County Sheriff's Office. That number is on your screen. Today is Election Day in Tazewell County, and we want to make sure you at home are prepared. Take a look at the ballot. Here are some of the seats up for grabs. Contested races include Senate, Commonwealth's Attorney, Sheriff, Soil and Water Conservation Director, and in the town of Tazewell, Town Council. But before you head to the polls, make sure you have that photo ID.
You can come here to our office and we can issue you a temporary photo ID that's only good for voting purposes only, that will allow you to vote tomorrow. Otherwise, you'll have to go through the process of voting a provisional ballot, which takes a few minutes to do, a little bit of paperwork involved, and it allows you until Friday to get us a copy.
The entire ballot and everything you need to know about today's election is on our website, WVVA.com. About 4,000 Mercer County residents voted during the special election on Saturday, and the majority, that means nearly 3,100 of you, voted in favor of continuing a 5-year excess school levy. The Mercer County Education Association president, Nicole McCormick, is grateful for those who voted in favor of the levy, and hopes those who voted against it will understand why it's needed.
It impacts our entire school system. The way we spend the dollars literally is athletics, academics.
Thank you for those that supported it, and for those that didn't. We hope that we can show you how much that it means to our students for that money to be there to help them.
The levy goes into effect in July 2020 when the current levy expires.
Staying on the topic of school, a growing number of homeschool parents are calling on lawmakers to give their children equal access to school sports and band. West Virginia is just one of 15 states in the United States that does not allow the students to participate. WVVA's Annie Moore has more on this story.
School sports are funded mostly through taxes, something all homeschool parents pay into. But should their children be allowed to play the sport when they don't attend the class? It depends on who you talk to.
What about this one with the big...
Jamie Buckland homeschools all 4 of her children in her Mercer County home.
Rebellion had failed.
And she's leading the charge for equal access to sports and band for homeschool parents.
We're only asking for the right to try out. If my kid isn't talented and doesn't make the team, how has that harmed the public school sector?
Critics of the legislation say it would allow players to cherry-pick their team. Buckland counters that argument, saying the bill has strict requirements to ensure students are homeschooled 1 year prior to joining the team.
The legislation that was up for discussion this past year was so well done that it really would have prevented opportunity for parents to game the system.
In addition to the bill's sponsor, Joe Ellington, the bill has support from other lawmakers as well, including Raleigh County Delegate Brandon Steele.
Plenty of homeschool kids out there that want to participate in something like that, that it would actually help the school to have competitors that want to participate in those sports that maybe aren't as popular as football or basketball.
Each year this bill is introduced and each year it's defeated, but with momentum building, it's certainly an issue we're going to be following closely when the legislature returns this winter. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Annie Moore. Meanwhile, in Fayette County, there have been consumer complaints with the county's Page Kincaid Public Service District. On Monday, the PSD attorney sent a letter to the West Virginia Public Service Commission saying Page Kincaid is now willing to discuss proposals by the West Virginia American Water to offer water for resale by the PSD or to acquire its assets. Page Kincaid customers told Public Service Commission members their water quality has been terrible for about a year and that their bills are outrageously high. The Public Service District had applied for a $3.35 million loan designated for repairs to its system, but now Page Kincaid is willing to discuss some type of intervention by West Virginia American Water. A spokesperson says the water company will be in contact with the PSD as soon as possible. A man was stabbed to death outside of a Popeyes in Ox Hill, Maryland on Monday night, and police believe it was over a chicken sandwich. It all happened at around 7 p.m. when a fight allegedly started inside the Popeyes and spilled out onto the parking lot where the man was stabbed. Authorities say the fight began while the two men were waiting in line, specifically for the Popeyes chicken sandwiches. The 28-year-old man was taken to a hospital where he later died. Police continue to search for a suspect.
And on Monday, more than 450 Oklahoma inmates were part of what may be the biggest one-day prison release in U.S. history. The releases come after a new law made simple drug possession a misdemeanor. The law was also made retroactive, giving offenders already serving felony time for those crimes a chance at freedom. State officials said Oklahoma is expected to save about $11.9 million in average prison costs once the inmates are released.
Students at a local school got a surprise visit by some baby animals as part of Career Week. The U.S. Department of Agriculture brought in chicks and a tractor to Cranberry, Prosperity, and Beckley. Keith Richmond talked to the students about some of the different types of jobs available, explaining that the field is so much more than cows and plows.
I like to watch them light up whenever you bring in an animal. Today I brought in chicks. They just love that. They like looking at the equipment. They're full of questions and a bunch of comments.
Now, Richmond says the U.S. Department of Agriculture employs people in areas ranging from science, technology, math, and research and development. After being closed for nearly 3 months, Portobello's in Bluefield, West Virginia is back in business. The restaurant is under brand new management. It was closed down for renovations, but now it's reopened. The owner says the menu has some new additions, and now they're inviting everyone to come in and stop by.
We are a part of Bluefield because we've been here since 2013, you know, so we have a good business. We open a new business to the area. Everybody start trusting Bluefield again and come back again to the area. So Bluefield, like one of the people take the risk to start their business here. So we are a part of this community and we hope to go forward for longer.
So great to have it back in business.
Yeah.
And before heading out the door this morning, check in with meteorologist Maxwell for all things weather.
And as we go to break, we want to wish a very happy birthday to singer Bryan Adams, best known for Cuts Like a Knife, Run to You, and his 1991 hit, I Do It For You, from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. He's turning 60 years old today. Stay tuned to see who else you're celebrating a birthday with. Happy birthday.
If you at home are celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. And on our list we have...
Happy first birthday to Adeline and Emerson Brammer of White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, twins.
Too cute. Turning 17, we have Carly Hester from Atoka, West Virginia.
From Rotherfield, West Virginia, happy birthday to Hunter Muncie.
And Jane Peavy from Bluefield, West Virginia turns 63.
Friend to the show there. Happy birthday, Miss Jane. Also, happy 16th birthday, Tyler Hampton of Princeton, West Virginia. Enjoy your day, Tyler. Listen, if you'd like to get a birthday wish on WVVA News Today, send your picture, age, hometown, and name with pronunciation, please, to 3052 Big Laurel Highway, Bluefield, West Virginia, 24701.
You can also email it to us at birthdays@wvva.com, but we do need those 2 weeks in advance. Coming up next this morning, all the stories we're following in the day ahead, they're coming right up, including progress on the bridge to nowhere.
Plus, Catherine Maxwell is breaking down how seasonable or how not seasonable we will be today. Please keep it here.
All thanks to your votes at home, Mitchell Stadium won the title of USA Today's best high school football stadium. Mitchell Stadium was one of 16 stadiums voted on in that first round, and up for the final round went up against R.R. Jones Stadium. Voting closed at 2 p.m. on Monday, with Mitchell Stadium winning by over 600,000 votes. There were more than 2 million votes for that stadium. Residents and first responders across the Bluefield area came out and took a community photo at Mitchell Stadium after that announcement. Bluefield Mayor Ron Martin explains how big this is for Bluefield.
It's nice to have a recognition like this, and you can tell by the crowd behind us, everybody's excited. We beat cities that have 500,000 residents, and we've got 10,000. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. That's what this field's about.
And with that, let's switch gears. Catherine?
Looking at us this morning, it is a cool start. We've been used to these cooler mornings. Looks like we're still holding true to that for us today. Could have a little bit of patchy frost on that windshield before you get started. Temperatures right now, we're seeing them mainly into the 30s. We do have a few spots in the 20s. Lewisburg at 27 degrees and Bluefield, Virginia waking up at 29. A few areas as well are into the 40s, such as Grundy, Richlands, and Bluefield, West Virginia. Here's a look at our day planner, where most of us are starting off in the 30s. We're going to have that for our temperature this morning. A chilly start. We are seeing mostly sunny skies, but a few clouds are actually going to increase as we head more into the afternoon time frames. Most of us around the lunchtime hour should be in the upper 40s and even in the lower 50s. By this evening, highs are basically going to be what we saw yesterday, into the 50s and even into the 60s. We do have potential for a stray shower to try to pop up in the later afternoon and into this evening. We do have this system that's a little bit more to our north. Looks like it's giving a good amount of rainfall, especially over Indiana as well as Ohio. This is going to try to dip into our area, but with that in mind, not going to give us a lot of moisture for our area. We will start to see more dry conditions for us today. After that front passes through, we will be having a high pressure system. That's going to give us a dry day tomorrow for our Wednesday. Another system we're really looking at is going to arrive for us Thursday and into Friday. It's this one right here off to our west. It's going to try to creep into the area, mainly hitting us Thursday night and into Friday morning, giving us a potential for a little bit better of widespread showers and even the potential for some wintry precipitation. So for us today, really not dealing with much other than the clouds increasing over the area. A stray shower or two is going to try to pop up later afternoon and into this evening. We'll try to see a little bit of moisture, but you see here most of the area looks to stay dry today, with clouds times the sun as well throughout the course of the day. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. Temperatures once again a little bit cooler than average. Most of us into the 30s and the lower 40s. A few spots could dip into the upper 20s, just like what we're seeing this morning. Over the course of tomorrow, though, high pressure really will be dominating, allowing this cloud cover to go away, giving us mostly sunny skies. Temperatures still look to hold into the 50s. Now let's look at that weather maker that we are all keeping our eyes on for Thursday into Friday. Looks like Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, we'll have a little bit chance of some showers to come through. Notice up to our north, this is actually going to cool down. It looks like Friday morning, giving us a little bit of some rain shower, or giving us a little bit of some snow showers to try to come through Friday morning. Kind of looks to be the same setup, though, what we saw Halloween night and into that Friday. So what we exactly saw last week, because literally looking at our accumulations, little to none is being picked up over the area. So not a major snowstorm or anything by that means, but we do have a second cold snap that's going to come through into the early portions of next week. So looking at the 7-day forecast on Monday, if you're a snow lover, looks like we do have a potential for a little bit of accumulation. So try to come up on Monday.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Maxwell. And you're looking at this morning, West Virginia Governor Jim Justice has a lot to say about the Christine West Bridge, which you know as the Bridge to Nowhere. The bridge has been inactive for 10 years. As you can see, the Department of Transportation is hard at work getting this bridge up and running. The governor says this bridge is definitely going somewhere.
But it's not going to sit out there at Bridge to Nowhere on my watch. I'm going to do something about it. So I love it. I'm going by there all the time because from time to time I'm picking up my son over at the Bluefield Airport and I see it and it's almost punched through to that side. So we're doing good stuff there.
The bridge will be part of a pathway connecting Route 460 to John Nash Boulevard to Airport Road. And the entire project is expected to be completed in November of 2021. Tim Armstead will become the West Virginia Supreme Court Chief Justice on January 1st. The court announced this decision on Monday following an administrative conference. Armstead is a former Republican House of Delegates Speaker who won the election to the bench in November of 2018, 3 months after Governor Jim Justice appointed him temporarily to that seat. Armstead is completing the term of Menas Ketchum and is up for re-election in May. And today, the jury selection begins in the trial of Roger Stone. Stone is the longtime friend of President Donald Trump and served as an advisor to his 2016 campaign. He was arrested in January and charged with misleading the House Intelligence Committee about his efforts to find out when WikiLeaks would be releasing hacked Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton campaign emails. Stone will be tried on counts of giving false statements, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. He faces jail time if he is convicted. The Today Show is coming up next. Let's check in with Kristen Welker to see what she's working on. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning to you. Coming up on Today, overnight at a rally in Kentucky, President Trump rallied his core supporters while also taking aim at the impeachment inquiry swirling around him. And today, the administration is bracing for more. Congressional investigators say they're planning to release the testimony of two top diplomats, Gordon Sondland and Kurt Volker. They're both central figures in the Ukraine controversy. Now, it comes after the first transcripts were released on Monday, with the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, telling lawmakers she was the target of a smear campaign by the president's allies, including his outside attorney, Rudy Giuliani. At issue here, Yovanovitch raised concerns about Giuliani, who was investigating the 2016 election and the Bidens in Ukraine. Yovanovitch even citing Ukrainian officials telling her to watch her back because of Giuliani. She was ultimately recalled months ahead of her scheduled departure. Now, the president was pressed about Yovanovitch late Monday. He said he didn't know her. Meanwhile, NBC News has also learned that Lev Parnas, one of Rudy Giuliani's top associates in Ukraine, is now willing to comply with congressional investigators. Parnas was recently indicted and helped Giuliani look into the Bidens in Ukraine. He could provide key details. We'll have all that and more coming up on Today. Back to you.
Thank you, Kristen. We'll be back with a look at your outdoor outlook, plus a story that'll have you wanting a camel. Yes, a camel. Don't change that dial.
Check this out. The International Camel Race was held on Saturday in the Saharan province of southern Algeria.
The contest witnessed the participation of professional race clubs from many places, along with the local teams from Algeria. Professional camel racing with spectators often betting similar to horse racing is a popular event in Africa and in the Middle East.
Now, camels can run at speeds of up to 40 miles per hour in short sprints. The Saharan Marathon race was organized along an 8-mile distance with hundreds of citizens cheering the runners along the sandy track.
I learned something new today. I didn't know they could go 40 miles an hour.
No, I didn't know that either. I guess it's almost like a horse, just a little slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
But it's not hump day.
No.
Not yet.
Tuesday.
Not yet.
So what is our Tuesday going to look like?
Our Tuesday forecast today, we'll have temperatures basically the same. We're waking up the same as yesterday morning, into the 30s and a little bit, some areas in the lower 40s. Highs today will be into the 50s and the 60s, just like yesterday. We will have a few clouds start to increase over top of the area. There's a potential for a very stray shower to try to come through. Most of the area is going to stay dry for us today. When that cold front comes through, it's very weak. Really not a lot of moisture is associated with it. We could see gusts try to get up 10, 15 miles per hour, but that's nothing out of the normal. Now, overnight, we will be having temperatures once again like we saw last night and this morning in the 30s, lower 40s, even upper 20s. There's still a chance we could have that stray shower possible, but most of us should be drying out by the later evening. For us tomorrow, mostly sunny day is in store. We have high pressure over top of the area. Temperatures are going to be basically the same, not much fluctuation with the highs and the lows until we head into Friday. Thursday, we have a cold front that's going to come through, giving us some showers into the later evening, and then into Friday morning. We will be having a little bit of a transition, a potential to see some wintry precipitation, like we saw last week, you know, Halloween night and that Friday morning.
All right, well, we can handle it. We had a talkback question. Today's talkback question was, do you like daylight saving time? And the results so far, 19% of you say yes, love the time change. 81% of you say no, I don't like it. And a flood of comments have definitely been coming in. Please keep those coming. Please keep voting. We'll have a brand new question tomorrow. But thank you as always for your input.
And you can catch Joshua and Catherine coming up at noon in the Today Show with all your favorites. It's right after this.
Have a great day, y'all.